Hello everybody, welcome to Wull's Wheels and welcome to yet another video. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to change out your gear gaiter for a nice new one like I've got here. Now in this video I'm not actually going to be taking this off because it is a little bit fiddly to do, and you'll see more about that in a moment I suppose. But in this video I'll be showing you the techniques that I did to try and get this off so you can do it as easily as you possibly can. This video was also created because I had a subscriber ask me in the comments on a previous video how to remove your gear gaiter from your Fiat Panda. So I thought I'd oblige and make a video just to sort of show how it's done. So with that said and done, let's get on with it. With the camera angle now changed, you can sort of get a better view of what is going on with this. So imagining this is your old gear gaiter, what you want to do is remove it from the dashboard. Now the easy ways to do that are try and push in from the sides, which is going to help release it, like so. Or if it's a little bit stuck, what you do is grab yourself a little plastic trim removal tool thing and just go around the edges and prise it all up. Next up, inside the material for the gaiter is a little plastic ring. You can see it just there. So what you want to do, like I already have with this, is go around it and pull it over the top of the ring, which should eventually help to free it from the material itself. So with the gaiter up like a little funnel like this, you've now obviously got access to all the inner workings of your gear stick. So you've got your little ball bearing here. I'd fully recommend that you grease this at this point because it's a good opportunity to do it, and it also helps you have a slightly smoother gear change, which is always nice, isn't it? But with this up, you'll have a little zip tie down here. So what you want to do is cut that and just chuck this one in the bin, but always have another one ready because you're going to need it when you put your nice shiny new gaiter onto the car. With the old zip tie now broken and in the bin presumably, what you want to do is obviously take this off the car. Now assuming you're replacing this because it's already broken and it's never going to go back on a car again, such as like I have with my old one here because it's got a big hole in it, you can afford to be quite brutal with it. So what I did was I removed about an inch or so of the stitching by just cutting it with some scissors, and that was enough to get it over the top of the gear knob, and you can pull it off, and that's that off the car, which is very, very simple. Now putting your new gear gaiter onto the car is where you're going to have to make a bit of a decision, because if I remove that down, the gear knob itself is quite well stuck on, to say the least. I mean, you try and pull it, it's not going anywhere. You're probably going to end up pulling this off before you actually pull the gear knob off of the car. That's because Fiat's used a lot of glue with it and it's just never going to come off. So with this in mind, you've got two options. So let's go for option 1 first. I'll tell you what that is and I'll tell you what option 2 is in a moment. Option 1 then. What you got to do is grab your new gear gaiter and start to unpick the stitching a little bit, and hopefully you can unthread it, leaving the holes intact. A bit like you've done here, but obviously less brutal. But you can see here with this, the holes are still in place, which keeps it all nice and easy. But with this, choose a spot on here which isn't going to be difficult to sew back up, because you will, if you undo the stitching, need to sew it back up. Take it down about an inch and slide it over the top of the gear knob, and then you're going to have to start sewing it all back up again later on, really. Option 2. Or option 2 is you try and take the old gear knob off of the car. Now, I will say, do not do this unless you've got another one to replace it with, such as aftermarket, or one that looks like the original one, if you want to keep it all looking, well, original. But the way to go about taking it off, you have to grab yourself something like a screwdriver, get up underneath it. Apparently it's raining now. Get up underneath if you can. It's not the easiest thing to get up underneath. There we go. Remove the knob top. Make as many jokes about that as you want. And then with this little bit here in the middle, what you're going to have to do is get yourself a little hacksaw of sorts, or even, you know, a little rotary tool with a sawy end on the top, and cut your way down through here and through all the plastic, and this will eventually enable you to just pull this off of the car. It's not the easiest thing, and it's definitely not the way I'd recommend it if you want to keep your original gear knob on the car, but if you're wanting to replace it anyway, this is probably the better route to go down. With the knob and the little pull-up thing for the reverse gear off the car, what you can now do is just slide the new Gaitor down over the top of that without actually having to undo it or anything like that, which is, yeah, it keeps it all looking neat, but it is a lot more challenging, shall we say. With the plastic ring that fixes this all into the center console, what you want to do then is line it up. If your Gaitor's already got holes in it, which some of them might well do, you just simply line it up with the holes and put it through, which is obviously nice and easy. If your one has not got holes in it, like mine didn't have when it arrived, what you're going to have to do is just snip a couple of holes in it, just big enough for these little clips to go through, and then what you do, simply click it all back into place. Like so. Obviously don't forget to put this back on the top if you've taken that off at all. And there we are, you've got yourself a new gear Gaitor. It's as simple as that. With this one that I've got in the car here, this one is made out of full leather. I got it from a company called Allo Everyone. Apologies for any poor Italian pronunciations there, because I'm not Italian. But yeah, I got it from them because they offer you a good quality product with different coloured leathers, different coloured stitching, things like that. This video is not sponsored by them, I just think they provide a good product, and that's the one I'm using. So if you're interested in getting one as well, I'll provide a link down below in the description for you to go and check them out and see whether there's one there that you might like for your Panda or Punto or any other car that they've got available on their site to make them for. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this video somewhat useful. If you have, please consider leaving a like, feel free to comment down below, and of course if you want to see more of this kind of content in the future, feel free to subscribe as well. If you do this to your Fiat, please message me on Twitter at Wull's Wheels and show me the ones that you've got, because I'm quite interested to see what you've got in your Fiat Pandas. Anyway guys, that's it for now, I'll see you in the next video. Farewell.